Hey, welcome to my studio. Are you ready for a Tuesday tip? Today is about writing, and today's topic is all about writer's block. Let's get right in it. In my opinion, there's two schools of thought behind writer's block. There's the side that believes there's no such thing as writer's block, and then there are those that do. Now, the ones that don't believe it exists, I think their mindset is that you can still find something to do to work on your novel. You can still find something to do to be productive. And by being productive ends up turning into working on your novel and working on your book. Being productive leads to working on your novel. And just like going to the gym, you have to exercise certain muscles to build strength. Working through writer's block is also a muscle that you have to work through. You've got to practice how to be diligent and not just wait for inspiration. If you remember at the end of episode 5 of my top 5 writing tips, I gave a little bonus tip is don't wait for inspiration to happen. And I think the first school of thought behind writer's block is that there's no room to wait for inspiration. You've got to make it happen. You've got to be diligent and work because there's always something that you can do. You can work on your maps if you have landscapes. You can work on your character dossiers and learn more about your characters and write out what they look like and any facts that you want to come up with because you're getting those creative juices flowing. You can work on editing. Hey, I want to take a second to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification icon so you don't miss an episode if you want to learn more about writing and art. Okay, let's get back in it. Now, the second school of thought behind believing in writer's block are probably the people that don't have that muscle exercised and don't have the diligence to work through the hang-ups that come with writing. Could just be that these people are so inspired to write this story. They have something to share, but they might not have the tools necessary to get through the stages. Whether you're someone that writes an outline for your novel, no matter how beginner or expert or super lax or detailed your outline may be, whether you are somebody that writes an outline or you're a pantser where you just add to your story and you just let it grow from your imagination as you're writing it, it can be hard for some people to know what to do if they've not been taught the steps. So let me show you some games, some fun things to do to help give yourself a forced inspiration. So you're not waiting for inspiration to happen. You are creating with some little games and tools that you can use to be productive that can help get those creative juices flowing. I'm an artist, and sometimes doing little artistic things for fun really get the creative juices flowing. So that Editing Tuesday here. I apologize that I keep saying creative juices so many times. I can start working on a painting because I have warmed up. Again, just like exercising, you want to warm those muscles up before you start using them. And then the more you use them, the stronger that they get. Let me show you some games to help get you out of that funk and get you working. Okay, the first one is what I call the writer's block game. It's literally a block, a cube, and I cannot take credit for this. I had a creative writing teacher who games with us. She had these foam blocks, and she would just had simple things written on each side of it. And it could be person, place, thing, whatever. I think they were, one cube was designated to different types of people that you would write about. Maybe another cube was aware and had a bunch of different locations that you could have as the location of your story. And what you did is you got all these blocks and you would toss them And then whatever landed, you did a quick little short story. Nothing too elaborate, just a fun little exercise to get the juices flowing. So I sat down and made a bunch, writing out some prompts for myself just for fun, or I need to practice getting my juices flowing and get in the headspace of being creative, because sometimes you do kind of have to get yourself in the headspace. Again, don't just wait for inspiration, because it's hard to say what inspires each and every person is different. So what inspires someone else is not going to inspire another person. Sizes that are pretty basic that could work for anybody is a little bit more helpful versus hoping that inspiration magically hits you and then you want to write. Because what if you got inspiration and you weren't able to write? Maybe you were out doing something and you got inspiration and you had no way to write it down. You had no way to work on it. And it's really hard to keep and hold on to that little nugget of inspiration as you get home and then start working. The cube that I already put some prompts on for a where. I'm going to do a little example exercise for you right now, and I'm going to toss this. Okay, what it landed on was homecoming. Tell a story of someone returning to a place they haven't been in years. What's changed or what's the same? Here's another thing you could do to elaborate on it. I could have another block that was just about characters, and maybe I had a character with a certain disability, or I had a character with a certain personality trait. And not just characters, maybe it could be certain landscape, time period. Sky's the limit. Whatever you can come up with, make a little cube. I made a reel showing how to make this cube. If you make it and then if you tape the sides like I did, it'll help keep it sturdier. And I just used a really fine pen to write out my prompt. You come up with whatever you want to come up with. To elaborate on this, if I had other blocks with story elements. So, like, story of a homecoming. Okay, a young man, he grew up in the woods. He really wanted to experience life for himself outside of the little cottage tower that existed deep into the woods. And although it was a beautiful place to live, he felt sheltered. Then when he went out into the world, he realized the struggles and the hustle and bustle of a busy life, and then started to crave a simpler life the longer he spent in bigger cities. I think I'm going for late 1600s. He's traveled to this kingdom where he has access to things he didn't before, and his newfound freedom, he has gone overboard with it. Didn't have enough practice with these different liberties and freedoms that he didn't know how to temper his freedom. Many years pass by, and he is starting to finally become homesick and miss his tower cottage that he grew up in with his grandma. So he travels back. He leaves all of his worldly possessions that he has accumulated over the years. He leaves behind what status and wealth and friends that he has made. He also leaves behind the drama. And as he's coming home, he just feels the pressures of the society that he lived in slowly melt away. And by the time he was on the trail that led right to his front door is when he finally felt at peace for the first time in years. And surprisingly, the tower has been well kept. The man walks right up to this cottage in the woods that should be dilapidated because an old woman lived there, his grandma, but yet it is well taken care of, even pristine. There's hedges, there's flowers, and there's a beautiful babbling brook right stone's throw away. It used to be his home, but it's not his home anymore. So with trepidation, he knocks on the door, and to his surprise, a young woman that he used to know and be friends with opens it. He's a little confused, but asks if his grandma has moved, and she says no, that she's actually been his grandma's caretaker, and she has moved in to look after her because she loved this old woman, because she treated her like family when she didn't have a whole lot of family, because she grew up in a neighboring village, and the two kids, they would meet up together and play. Now, all these years later, she's a beautiful young woman. She's all grown up. She's also unmarried. She felt in her heart it was the right thing to do. She was respecting this older woman by taking care of her because her absentee grandson was obviously gone and no one had heard anything from him in a long time. So she stepped up to take care of her. And lo and behold, the grandson comes back and he is ready to make a home for himself back where he grew up. And because I'm a romantic, why don't we add that they get married and the grandma gets to live with them until her dying day. It's a sweet story. So that was fun. Another thing that you could do instead of using blocks, these do kind of take up space, don't they? You could use popsicle sticks. And again, just have different prompts. You could get those colored popsicle sticks and the red be one prompt topic aware, yellow is why, and have fun with it. Now, if for some reason you are still struggling with writer's block after that, and you still somehow don't feel encouraged to write, in my opinion, I would recommend that you check where your heart is at. Maybe you've got something going on in your life that you're really stressed about, and it's not so much that you're not dedicated to your story, but maybe there's a hindrance in your life that's keeping you from. Maybe you're stressed out for some reason, and I believe that we can do some things to encourage ourselves and to flex that creative muscle in our brain that gets us going and getting us to create. We're still at a loss on how to continue, then maybe just check in with yourself. Maybe for some reason you're not mentally able to, or I don't know your life. Maybe you struggle with chronic pain. Maybe you need to sit in a hot bath for a little bit and relax, put some lotion on your face and see how you feel after being refreshed. Everybody needs protein. If protein helps with our mental state, then maybe you're hungry as well. Maybe you need a good snack, need some water, maybe you need a nap, maybe you need a rest, maybe you've got some stress that's weighing on you that you need to talk out with somebody or journal, write down your thoughts, get out the gunk, clear the cobwebs of yourself, and then try again and see if it works. You're human. You're not a vending machine. You can't just put in a quarter and expect certain output. That's just not how we work as humans. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate the support by watching this. I would be so grateful if you shared this video with someone or commented below or liked the video if you liked it. I'm really trying to grow my channel and my social media platforms. My goal is to get people excited about me and the book that I'm writing so that whenever it is finally done, I can hopefully quickly get it published so that I can share it with everybody, because that's what I would love to do. I need everybody else to know this story, and you can't know it if you don't read it, and you won't be able to read it if I don't finish writing it. I'm working on it, but that was my goal behind starting an Instagram for myself and start working on social media. And then I started doing little videos and thought, you know what, maybe I could do YouTube videos. And so here I am making YouTube videos and making content for you, because I want you to get to know me. I want you to get a little invested in me and the work that I am producing, that hopefully you'll get to read someday, or my artwork if or when I start selling my artwork. But another big motivation behind these videos that I make is that I have a teacher's heart, and I want to teach other people the things that I've learned. I want to share this wealth of knowledge that I have, and I'm sure there's plenty of other people that know way more than me, but I do know a lot about writing and about art, and I want to share that. I don't want to just keep it to myself. I love giving tips and tricks and advice to people, and this fulfills my teacher's heart a little bit by getting to share with you. So again, that was a really long way to explain why I even do what I do, and to say thank you so much if you are someone that watches my videos. I appreciate you so much. I would not have a platform for anyone to see. For one, if social media just didn't exist, but if nobody watched me, then no one would be able to see anything that I'm trying to show. So again, if you are someone that is stuck around and watched this video till the very end and has seen me in length talk about myself at the very end of this video, just know again that I appreciate the views. I would love to hear from you. Comment below, like it, share the video with someone you think might be struggling with writer's block, and I'll see you in the next one.